Gentlemen, I may have found another hidden gem. Now you might ask how I keep finding these not so appropriate games. Well, for some unknown reason, Steam thinks these are the kind of games that I enjoy. Okay Steam, this one actually seems interesting, but what the fuck is a Skibidi Backrooms? And my friends are not helping this case either. Anyway, LastEvil combined gambling and hentai. Two of my worst addictions. I don't want to admit it, but I actually enjoyed this game. Okay, don't judge me. The game is actually good. It's a roguelike, but it's a porn game. Okay, shut up.
I just wanna beat my fucking meat. Let me beat my meat. Let me beat my meat.
We play as this succubus, who does not have a name as far as I know. And she wants to revive the Demon King, or something like that. You see, there was a huge war between humans and demons. And the humans were victorious, of course. But it doesn't stop there. Humans have the urge to enslave anything that they defeat. And the goblins and succubuses are no different. Welcome to the sex dungeon. This is where most of the game takes place. There is no outdoor areas. Yeah, the level design is very repetitive. But the way you go around the map is actually cool. There is these tiles that you have to clear one by one. There is usually enemies in the rooms, but some of them have events and some of them are chest rooms and etc. But each level has one or two mini bosses and a main boss. When you defeat the main boss, you go to the next level, even if you don't explore all the tiles. There is a lot of different enemy types. We have bandits, knights, human traffickers, succubus traffickers. We also got the monsters like slimes, molester, earthworms. Hell, we're also fighting against goblins and other succubuses. But the thing that made me want to create this video is the combat. And it's not because it's a card game and I love gambling, but it's actually because it has a lot of depth. You get some basic cards in the start of the game. They are pretty simple, like the usual attack and defend cards, or inflicting weakness. But as the game goes on, you get more complicated ones. And it's completely random which cards you get. You could get very lucky and get a broken card. And if you die, you will never see that again. You get cards by defeating the enemies. After winning the fight, you get to choose between 3 random cards. And if all of them suck, you can skip it. But be careful which cards you actually choose, cause deleting them from your deck is very hard. And in each turn, you get random cards from your deck. So if you have shitty ones, just get rid of them. So you have to gamble to get the cards, and some of the cards are actually gambled themselves, and there is a gamble which card you get in the battle. God, I love this game. There is also the merchant. She sells you the card in exchange for some white substance, but I advise you to upgrade her first, cause it's permanent, and even if you die in the next run, you get discounts on the cards, and you also get some bonuses. There are also items that you find in the chests. Or random events. And they are even more broken than the cards. There is an item that upgrades one of your random cards at the end of the battle if you don't choose any of the 3 cards. And this is very broken cause upgrading your cards is normally very hard and expensive. So more gambling. In combat you have your mana and lust. Mana is straightforward and most of your cards use mana. You get 3 each turn, and there is also items or spells that give you additional mana. But you can transfer your mana to the next round. So if you have 2 mana left and you end the turn, in the next turn you still get 3 mana instead of 5. Okay, if that sounded confusing, I'm sorry cause lust is even more confusing. Some cards use lust and you get 1 lust every 3 rounds, I think. There is also items and cards that give you lust, but you can actually store the lust for the next turn or even the next fight. But there is a catch. Remember me talking about the merchant and the currency? Well, you see in the sex dungeons, the rules are simple. The winner fucks the loser. The weak should fear the strong, and for the prize, you extract all of the cum from their body, which means a chat orc has more cum than a virgin goblin. But if you choose to f them, you will lose all of the lust that you stored up. So if your belly is full, it's better to not them and keep your lust instead. But if you haven't watched the specific scene, just them. You can win the game even if you don't use any lust cards. And you unlock cool outfits for the unique scenes that you unlock. And there is a lot of scenes. They are like 4 to 5 second videos put on a loop. And some of them are actually trash. But as I said, there is a lot of them. So maybe you enjoy one of them. Also, the bosses and some of the enemies have their own combat mechanic. My favorite is this guy. He hits like a truck. And I realized when I apply weakness to him, his damage actually goes up. Apparently, every time you damage him, his attack on that turn increases. And weakness only goes up to 5. And there was nothing like this before in the game. So I had a very hard time figuring out what was happening until I noticed this little icon. There is also hard difficulty that you unlock after beating the game in normal mode. And yes, it is very hard. And you don't get anything new, it's just the normal mode but harder. Shit, the normal mode is also hard. The point of a roguelike is whenever you die, you become stronger and get buffs and shit. But here you have to die 3 or 4 times to level up once. And get some useless shit like 10% damage when you're applying bleed to them. What the fuck? Even after I beat the game in the hard difficulty, I only get 1 level. In every video I talk about the music, but here some of the soundtracks are fine, but most of them are generic dungeon crawler music. You can try the game for yourself, it's pretty cheap in Steam. And with all that said, see you in the next video when I actually make it, hopefully. Monkey doesn't give a fuck. The